đưa thầy đi viếng thăm Thạch Động ở West Virginia. Tên là gì đó anh Việt?
Lucay Cabin.
À. Phía trước là đoàn xe gồm 4 chiếc. Xe đó là chị Thanh chở thầy triển khai và
chạy lên 65-70 con cảnh sát phạt. Mình xuống speed rồi là thầy nó cũng xuống speed lại. Dốc 70-75 dọc theo hai bên xa lộ là những nông trại của vùng Virginia.
Còn khoảng 20 cây số nữa là
tới Skyline,
là tới Thanh Động. Đang chuẩn bị leo đèo.
xe nhỏ vậy lái mấy cái cua này xe men mấy cái cua này phải từ từ. Cao quá nó dễ lật lắm.
Còn xe đang leo đèo. Cảnh trí mùa thu giống như Đà Lạt.
Màu lá thay đổi rồi đó ha.
Rồi lên lại.
Còn bên này nó chỉ đường rất là để bảng hết trơn à. 45 là 45, mình chạy hơn chút xíu là mình thấy cái xe nó trao liền. Để 25. Để 25 mình nãy mình chạy lên cái mình phải ngừng thắng là đúng 25 mới quẹo được. Lát về thế nào cũng không qua đây à.
Đoàn xe đã tới thành phố Lucay, nơi có cái thạch động mà thầy sẽ sắp viếng thăm.
Next tour begins shortly. Thank you. Thank you.
Từ Phước An nói chuyện với tôi sao mình đi được.
Khách du lịch đang đứng chờ để vào cửa và thầy đang nối đuôi để vào cửa thăm cái động Lucay, động Lucay.
Rồi sao học của vậy?
Ông máy nè, máy kia.
Well, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Good. Good. Welcome to Lucay Cabins. I'm Scott. I'll be showing you around. If you have any questions along the tour route at any time, don't hesitate to ask, okay? Now, we're going to take basically the same trip that our first explorers did about 116 years ago. The first three men to visit the cavern that we know about were Andrew and William Campbell and Benton Stebbins. Now, these are three gentlemen out of the town of Lucay, just down the road here, and they were up on the surface examining the sinkholes that dot the property up above. A sinkhole is a good indication that some type of erosion has gone on under the surface, because when the support gets washed out from under the ground above will fall in or collapse, and that creates a depression. There are lots of these kind of depressions up above us. In the bottom of one of the larger sinks one morning, William Campbell, the younger of the Campbell men, felt cool air coming out of a crack that lined the base of the sink, and that let him know that there was definitely a cavern down here. The hole at the time was far too small for any of the three to fit into it. They had to widen the opening. That took about 5 hours. They finally had room enough for Andrew Campbell to twist and turn and squeeze his way down inside. When they lowered him in by rope, after twisting and turning, he found himself atop the hill right where the X is. And that happened on August the 13th, 1878. On our tour today, we are very fortunate to be able to view the cavern a lot as these first three men saw it. However, we have a little advantage over their exploration, where they were using candles to find their way through the cavern. We have the use of the electric lighting. Unfortunately, the electric lights will permit small plants to grow in the cavern. We're talking about very simple plant life, mosses, algae, lichens, ferns, things like that. It would not be here without the lighting. To try to control that growth, I will be cutting lights out behind us periodically. And I wanted you to know that so it wouldn't alarm you. I'm not trying to scare you or keep you from escaping or anything like that. We do it mainly to control the growth of the plants. Another advantage that we have are the paved brick and concrete walkways. We ask for your protection and safety that you remain on the brick and concrete the entire way through the cavern. We also asked for your protection and safety that you use the railings for support only. Please do not climb on them, stand on them, sit on them, or kneel on them. We also have to ask, to protect the cavern, that you not touch the formations of the cavern. There are oils and minerals in our hands and skin that can cause a great deal of damage. We can either discolor a formation just by touching it, or even stop it from growing forever. So, now before we head down, are there any questions about anything at all? That's pretty good. We're going to start out down entrance hallway here. About an hour from now, we'll come out Stebbins Avenue on the other side. That's being named after Benton Stebbins, one of our first explorers. If you're ready to check this thing out, come on down. You know, there are many, many different ways a cavern can be formed, but all caverns are basically the end result of water trying to locate the water table. Depending upon how the water accomplishes that feat, that's the type of cavern or cavity that's left behind. Well, oh, I'm sorry. My hair look all right? When the water would pass through the soil, it would collect carbon dioxide from dead and dying animal and plant life. Well, the combination of carbon dioxide and water makes a mild acid called carbonic acid. It's very weak, so the water table is located, in our case, directly below us. Eventually, all the water will drain down into the table itself. Now, once it leaves this area, it leaves the cavity that you're walking through. Over the years, as an atmosphere begins to develop in the underground and air is able to circulate in and out, any water that comes in after the atmosphere is established will decorate the cavern. And the water can come in a variety of ways. If it drops in one droplet at a time, it will leave behind deposits both on the ceiling and the floor of the cavern. The two formations that are left behind are probably the most common of cavern formations. First of all, when the water hangs above, it leaves deposits to build from the ceiling down, making the stalactite. And just about everywhere you look, you see stalactites hanging down. When the water falls down, it builds minerals up to create the stalagmite. Here's an example of one of those. You can see where the water built up with a frozen waterfall. You'll see some excellent flowstone formations just past the first pool of water that we're going to pass. That's what makes it hard to see. Okay, please. That's all right. That's all right. Folks, I have to ask that you stay behind me, please, all the time. That little cubby hole, you'll see a droplet of water fall down. Every once in a while, you get to see that. Along the side of the cavern to the right, the wall's very wet and active. And you're looking at some flowstone, millions of years of water running over top. You'd be pretty smooth too if you got that kind of water coming down. Now, Green Lake is coming up to our right. Straight ahead.
Đây là nước nó động lại, nó phản chiếu từ trên tầng xuống.
Now this end is the deepest end of the pool, but that end is just 18 inches.
Đến này đi.
What it is. I'd like everybody to stay up here at the turn of the railing, please. Don't go beyond the turn, and we'll talk a little bit about the area below us when everybody comes up. Railing, you're looking down into a massive opening. This is called Pluto's Chasm. The chasm is an inactive fault line. The last action in the fault out of an area called the main body of the cavern, or the older, larger part. What that means is that eventually, throughout the tour, we're going to work our way all the way around this opening, then we're going to walk through it on the path down below us. The whole time that we journey around, we will be stopping occasionally to check out this big white column that stands down in the center of the chasm. That formation is known as Pluto, after the Roman god of the underworld. The formation has been named, and it can be seen. Cecil B. DeMille. Yeah. Remember the guy? He was a director. Our tour of the cavern is roughly laid out in a figure 8, or 2 loops, if you will. And because of the way the tour is set up, we never retrace our steps the entire way. And we're able to view new sections of the cavern all the way through. When we get up on the bridge here, we're going to be at the center of the 8, or where the loops intersect. Because of the way the tour is set up, we will eventually go down in all the areas before we're done today. All the areas below the bridge there, all the walkways that you see. Now, the area below us, when we get up on the bridge this time, is known as Skeleton Gorge. When Andrew Campbell was first working his way through that area, he found laying at the gorge, at the head of the gorge, where that column is, a small pile of bones kind of spread across the pathway. The bones were gathered up and analyzed. Come to find out, they were the bones of a young lady no more than 19 years of age. Because they never did find an entire skeleton. It's theorized that what happened, she was buried in, or she ended up in, one of the many sinkholes that dot the property up above, and due to rain and snow, eventually she was washed down into the cavern. Because they never found a whole skeleton, they believe that that's probably what happened. Now, the bones are currently held in storage at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington. They're estimated to be about 500 to 700 years of age. So it's no doubt that she laid down here for quite some time before the discovery. We're going over the railing there, you're looking at Pluto for the second time. Pardon me, folks. We're going to see Pluto a third and final time as we come out of the main body of the cavern. Now, make no mistake, Pluto is the formation down in the center of the chasm there. Now, here at the head of the chasm, we really do have the best view of the chasm itself. Here you can look right down the fault line if you choose to. It's better than 500 feet long, and anywhere from 70 to 90 feet from the floor of the chasm to the very top of the cavern. When you look up into the archway of the chasm, you're actually looking into the underside of one of the peaks of Cave Hill.
Yeah, that's why it's good to have this.
Sunrise shows is almost as exciting as the sunset show. Definitely try to see a sunset show. Yeah, it's kind of neat. Bats are amazing. We've lost millions of them due to pesticides. It's really damaging the population. That's exterminators are they'll eat 3 pounds of body weight. It's not going to and that's up to 3 times a night. It's got a terrific camera.
chụp từ dưới rồi lấy trên trần coi như
ngồi xuống á, ngồi xuống Nghi.
Không được, không được.
The massive structure. Develop even a semi-regular basis, you have a tough time getting meat down here, I can tell you that. They're big, they're heavy, and would hurt a lot to go on top of you. As a matter of fact, I can safely say we have never seen anything fall from the ceiling of the cavern since we've been open to the public. That's been since November 6th, 1878. You realize, of course, we would never be allowed to let people down in the cavern if things fell on even a semi-regular basis. I can hear the management now. Whoops, lost another tour today. It just doesn't happen. The cavern today is extremely stable. Before Saracens Inn to the left, up in that big open spot right about there. And it came down as the hill was lifted up. The entire landmass was shifted up. That means tons. And it is probably the largest piece of breakdown that remained intact as it fell from the ceiling. There's a lot. Up on the hill behind us here, we have a nice little formation that a lot of people really enjoy. That solo stalagmite goes by a variety of names, quite often the cavern seashell. In the wintertime, though, it's more often than not the cavern crystal. All the way around the room, I need to remind everyone not to stand, sit, or kneel on that as you go inside. And as we enter Cathedral, we're going to be entering the largest underground natural. The stalactites that are around us act as the pipes for the organ. The idea that this came to Leland in some way. And that's only because of their central core and their crystal construction. But all stalactites have this ability. And Leland got the idea of hooking the cavern up to this musical instrument. What he had to do was try to locate the properly pitched formations. With a set of English tuning forks, he took 3 years from night terror. On top of the bar, there's a round cylinder. In each of the cylinders, you'll find 2 electric magnets and a piston. When the magnets are electrified by touching down a key on the keyboard, they repel one another. That pushes out the rubber-tipped piston, which lightly taps the formation, making it ring out. And that's how we're going to hear the instrument today. About the only time we ever physically play the instrument is when we hold weddings down here. To date, we've held almost 250 weddings in this chamber. We have an organist come down whenever we hold a wedding. He unlocks the keyboard. Charity. And we've done that since 1954. Some of those charities are listed on that plaque there. And down at the very bottom, the plaque tells you that we've taken out to date almost $350,000. But that doesn't include what we took out last January. And on a regular basis, throughout the 90s, we've been able to take out as much as $30,000 to $35,000 in a single year. That means come January, we could have as much as 1.5 to 2 feet of coins in the bottom of the well. The water's got an odd color to it, kind of bluish green, as many of you probably realize. This is because of the copper and the silver and the mite. The pool is the deepest one in the cavern. It is over 6 feet deep at its deepest point. Another optical illusion, though. Like the first pool we saw that appeared very deep.
Đây là những người lính Mỹ ở vùng County đã chết ở chiến trường Việt Nam. Người ta làm tưởng niệm để một cái bia tưởng niệm ở trong một cái động, trong cái động này. Thầy đang ăn bắp sau khi đi xem hang động trở ra. Phía sau là xe của cô Phúc Hải, Nghi đang lái.
thì đi từng đến
Sinando hát.
Coi trong cái phim đó biết không? Mấy người đã đi lại tìm cái này.
Vườn quốc gia nha.
Đang lấy mấy cái đất như cái này. Không có cây. Đây ở trong phim đó, quýnh
Rừng núi chập trùng. Đây là một cái khoảng rừng để mà cho người ta đến dừng chân để nghỉ chân để ăn uống. Nước đó, nước sạch đó để cho mình dùng á. Phía sau là phòng vệ sinh để cho những người đến cắm trại. Trong mấy cái giường như thế, mấy cái chỗ nghỉ chân như thế này, người ta có để đặt những cái bàn và cả những cái lò để cho khách du lịch đến có thể nướng thịt hoặc là làm những thức ăn tự nhiên. An Hòa và Trực Giác đang làm bánh mì cho buổi ăn trưa.
này là phun hay là thiết tô đó nha. Đi mua bữa cái rau rồi mua.
Nó đây một bánh mì nhưng mà xin một dĩa mì thôi ha.
Để tối là em cho bà.
Không biết ăn ngọt.
Bánh mì không chọn được.
Of course you will.
Đi có bánh mì không? Mimi con ăn không? Con làm luôn nè. Con đi qua. Đi lon. Không quen mì Thích Hải là ngon lắm.
Có thêm ăn đổ món.
Hỏi không muốn chơi vậy. Rồi thôi. Yeah. Vậy mà. Trời mi này. Nó lo không chơi luôn trời. Không lo không để tay cái này tay thiệt cũng lo. Chơi một tay tao mới không có được chơi hai tay. Giống như mày bị.
Mà nói con nghe hai đứa chơi đứa nào á, đứa này săn rê với đứa nào á.
Ai nói mà cô làm này chứ mà nó muốn cô để tay vô
đứa nào
luôn.
bắt dính á là đứa
nó
đổi lại kia.
Mà đâu có được, nếu lon giống lon thắng vậy, nếu lon thua là cái tay là cũng thua thôi. Thì em tới em. Rồi lon chưa làm mà. Yeah yeah. Yeah. Chứ mà tính ra sao bỏ tay vô khỏi thua. Đâu được, thì nếu lon thua là cái tay này thua sao?
Cái người mà làm dây dê không bỏ tay, cái người làm bỏ tay là người đó có nói gì hết.
Hiểu không? Chơi lật nữa đây bên đây nè. Yeah yeah yeah. Yeah yeah yeah. Chạy. Đi. Yeah yeah yeah. Yeah 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 yeah. Ông.
Là bên dính á, coi như là thua là làm lại nữa. Khi nào người kia chụp không dính á là
chạy. Chạy. Yeah.
Thung lũng nè Bắp.
Dạ.
Một cá ơn rồi. Về Dạ. Dạ không có luôn rồi à. Chị chú cầm đâu? Kìa. Thằng của con. Trai vô xíu. Chưa làm được gì trai trai mà thắng nó luôn. Chưa làm được cái gì hết mà thắng nó rồi. Ai này?
Cái này giống đèo Hải Vân.
Gắt quá.
Này giống đèo Hải Vân luôn. Bữa nay là đi chơi Thích động về. Đi giờ chắc đi xuống đi xe coi bả thằng gì á.
Đừng đánh này. Đi thua hoài. Đi làm đi xe lửa, và biết làm mà đi xe lửa luôn đã.
Còn mấy cục pin vậy? Có một cục hả?
Còn cục hết nè.
Vậy hả? Tại chị.
Thầy đang nghỉ chân ăn kem trước viện bảo tàng không gian của thủ đô Washington. Phía bên trong viện bảo tàng không gian Hoa Kỳ ở thủ đô Washington.
Má mình đâu có đưa vào cắt đâu. Đâu? À đâu bó mình đâu. Ok, có.
Thầy đi xem phim chiếu về không gian IMAX, không gian 3 chiều.
Theater. We would like to remind you that food, drink, smoking, and the use of flash and video cameras are not permitted in the theater.